holiday of Shavuos, we continue, just like Jews for thousands of years, to count 49 days from the holiday of Pesach, stretching all the way until the holiday of Shavuos. Jews have been doing this since the times of the Torah. For what? What's the excitement all about? Why are we counting for 49 days? We're told in the Torah that when the Jewish people left Egypt, they were slaves, and then all of a sudden they were free. And only 7 weeks after they were set free from the bondage, from the horror, from the terror of Egypt and the slavery that they endured, they received the Torah on Mount Sinai. This was one of the greatest moments in Jewish history. The marriage document, the binding contract that the Jewish people took on and their relationship with God, in their growing love and connection to the Ribono Shel Olam. So what's the excitement all about? We commemorate this every single year. We wait and count one day, each day. Hayom Yom, today is the next day, as we get closer to that time of Matan Torah, receiving the Torah. It's great excitement. It's great anticipation. Yet, our sages in the Talmud tell us that during this time, about 2,000 years ago, the students of Rabbi Akiva, one of the greatest Talmudic minds, Talmudic sages in the time of the Mishnah, he had 24,000 students, and they all died during the period between Pesach and Shavuos. One of the greatest tragedies in Jewish history. All died during this period. For what? Why did 24,000 students die? The Talmud tells us, Shelo nahagu kavod zeh lazeh. They didn't treat each other with respect. It's very hard to understand. 24,000 students of Torah should die because they didn't treat each other with respect? How do we understand this? One of the simple answers is that when you learn Torah with somebody else, the mutual respect that needs to take place in order for that combination of minds to grow and to develop and to create something beautiful, in order for the Shekhinah, for God's presence to rest in that joining of minds of Torah, you need mutual respect. You need respect for the other person's ideas, for the other person's concepts. And what we're told is that these students didn't have that respect for one another. And therefore, they didn't see the potential in the learning of the other that they were sitting across from when they were learning Torah together. So 24,000 students died during this time. It's a tragic time. Many people have the custom not to shave, not to cut their hair, not to have weddings or live music or live concerts because of this sadness that took place during this time in history. Yet on the other hand, we have this great anticipation, this great excitement for Matan Torah, for the receiving of the Torah. How do the two go together? How do we combine, on the one hand, the sadness, the great tragedy of 24,000 students, 24,000 Torah minds, Torah Sfarim, books, families of Jewish people that could have been. And on the other hand, we have the night of Shavuos, with great excitement and great anticipation. Jews around the world stay up the entire night learning Torah, awaiting that moment that thousands of years ago happened in reality at Mount Sinai. How do we combine these two emotions, the tragedy of the 24,000 students of Rabbi Akiva on the one hand, and on the other hand, the great, incredible moment where we accepted the greatest book of all time, the Torah, on Mount Sinai? Simcha, joy, excitement. How do the two go together? I believe the answer can be found at the very moment when the Jewish people arrived at that place where they received the Torah. The Torah teaches us that the unity that existed then was beyond any level that ever existed at any time in history. The words that the Torah uses are Vayichan Sham Yisrael Keneged Ahar. Vayichan, he camped, the literal meaning of the word. An entity of over 1.5 million people camped as one, as Vayichan, as one person, as Rashi, the great commentator, teaches us, Ki ish echad, the lev echad, like one person with one heart. That unity is what created the prerequisite, the ability, the opportunity for the Torah to be received as one complete unit. And we as a people received it as one people, as one nation. So perhaps, as we journey towards the day of Shavuos, as we get ourselves ready, as we prepare for that great day, for that great joy, for that great excitement, on the one hand, we'll think about what was lost, the tragedy. 24,000 students. Why? Unity. The lack of unity. The lack of appreciation of to receive Torah, to develop Torah, to create future generations of Jewish people. We need unity. We need togetherness. We need to put our differences aside. And we need to see that Vayichan, that the only way the Jewish people can receive the Torah, can continue to be a strong nation, can continue to be an undivided nation, is to bring ourselves together, to look at the people around us and to say, you're a Jew. Hello, how are you? It's nice to see you. Shabbat Shalom. To enjoy the presence of other Jews, to put our differences aside. That is what Shavuos is all about. That is what this time period is supposed to be preparing us, and we are supposed to be preparing for. So I wish you all a wonderful Yom Tov of unity, of joy, of coming together, and of receiving the Torah.